Okay, yeah, I just wanted to quickly share this book I found called The Master Game. Absolutely fascinating. And he talks about how in life, which is a game, seek for seek for a game worth playing. Such is the advice of the oracle to modern man. Having found the game, play it with intensity. Play as if your life and sanity depended on it. They do depend on it. So be engaged. Um, and remember, it's just a game, but like move as if you had some purpose. You know, um, he argues that even to the most clouded intelligence, any game is better than no game. I think this is debatable. So in this chart, which goes into the levels of the game, at the lowest level, you have the Moloch game, which is what the world governments, media, secret societies, Illuminati, etc., what they're playing. And their goal is to depopulate the world, basically, reduce the world population to 500 million people. And um, they're playing a game, you know, basically, but they forgot that it's a game, and they're taking the game so seriously that they will stop at nothing to kill as many people or to demoralize them or whatever and control them. If they don't kill people, they want to control people with vaccines and 5G and whatever. So for their own glory or victory, okay? At the next level up, you have the cock and dunghill, which is fame. And you got a lot of celebrities nowadays who have been sold out, basically, looking for fame. Then at the next level up, wealth, which is not a bad game. Um, if you're still in the 3D matrix, hog in the trough. So you'll do anything to just like keep making money, a la Wolf of Wall Street, and just the aim of the game is just to. It's basically like Monopoly, just make lots of money for yourself, not for evil purposes like the Moloch game, but to um, yeah, just for self-interest, really, and ego gratification and ego inflation. He puts the no game as the next step up, which is interesting. I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, the householder game is quite a nice game to play because it affords one stability and security, and a lot of people in the world are playing this game, the householder game, raising a family, keeping things afloat, stuff like that. And then the higher levels, which are called meta games. So down here we have like object games, so called, which are more like materialist. The meta games, are more spiritual games. So at the lowest rung, we have the art game, which is beauty, like art for art's sake, and appreciating the beauty in the world and really milking it and turning everything into something quite beautiful and having beauty as this meta object, which is more, I don't know, a bit vague and conceptual for those playing the object games down here. But it is a higher power. It is a higher virtue, beauty. You know, uh, the Greeks called it formosus, or the beauty of form. And really appreciating beauty. And a lot of the Renaissance itself was a very spiritual game because you got all these artists coming together for the same purpose of creating beauty, which is quite a spiritual thing to do. Uh, and then we had the science game. So after the Renaissance, we had the Enlightenment, and that was fixated on knowledge of the universe, knowledge of man. And they would hold a lot of philosophical debates and really value the intellect and the mind and the life of the mind and seeking knowledge that was mainly empirical. And rational thought was a bit, if you were a rationalist, it was a bit more controversial. But if you were an empirical philosopher, you verified things with physical 3D tools and measuring sticks and stuff like that, then you're on the right track. The rationalists were more fixated on astrology and more esoteric sciences, which tend to be poo-pooed by the mainstream. Then you, of course, got the religion game, which is all to do with salvation, really. Placing your trust in a higher power and not doing your own shadow work, basically, and realizing that actually only you can save yourself in this game. But with the religion game, you got the classic example of Jesus Christ coming to save you. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do the shadow work. You just have to pray to Jesus Christ, and He's going to come down and save you because He died for your sins, and all you have to do is just surrender to Him. So kind of just like completely surrender to this higher power, and that brings apparent or alleged salvation, and it has a lot to do with faith or belief. Belief more than faith, because as Alan Watts put it, belief is holding on to something for dear life, like this sort of egoic clinging, which is quite neurotic, and desperate. Whereas faith is more letting go, I would say. Yeah, letting go. And trusting something beyond the concept of salvation, which is the master game, awakening. Awakening to your true self, this sort of ultimate self-realization that everything that everything is really actually you playing itself out, and you're just playing the game of hide and seek with yourself, in a sense. It goes much deeper than this. I haven't read the full book, but this table is a perfect blueprint for the entire book. It's only 113 pages, and I'll post a link to it in the description box as well. Now, going back to the no game, which is no aim, this arguably, I would say, could go even above the master game, because it presupposes the end of all ego, the end of the I. So you just become this pure awareness with like no desire, no aim, no game. You're done. You've unplugged from the matrix of games, and you're just pure awareness, and anything that happens is happening, automatically. So in a way, it's like, as Alan Watts would say, pressing the surprise button and say, "Here, just surprise me. I don't want to play any games anymore." And I would say that after you've reached the awakening game, via these other games, which are useful stepping stones, then you begin to realize that I'm out of the game, like that Rufus Wainwright song. I'm out of the game, And by the way, there is no I, because who is that I? Who's playing the game, really? So in a way, it's quite Zen and Taoist and impersonal, but arguably it could be placed above the master game, and just realizing that it's a complete let go. It's a complete letting go of you as identified with the mind, with the body, with the identity, and just letting things just happen, of their own accord, and just everything happens, and just it is in a way the most it is the bravest game to play, this one. But I would say it can't really be played. I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea why it's down here. But it can't really be played unless and until this is like achieved, and it can't be rushed or contrived, you know. So yeah, basically. So once you're in this no game state, um, if you look at the vibrational scale, scale of vibration. Do I have it here? No, I don't have it. But yeah, at the highest point of the scale of vibration is enlightenment, or pure Tao, pure Tao, which is the ultimate flow state of oneness and everythingness, beyond any identity conceptualization, you know. And of course, as children, we are already in that state when we're born. Everything is that. Everything is da, 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 da. There is no conceptual differentiation between you and I. You know, where does the universe begin and where does your skin end? You know, everything is literally you and an extension of you. And it is the body that's the illusion. It's the mind that's the illusion. It's the personal identity that's the illusion. But you can't go back and become like children to enter the kingdom of heaven uh, until you've reached this realization here, you know. And by hook or by crook, we will. You just have to like have faith. So right here, salvation is more belief. This is letting go. This is faith that it's going to happen of its own accord. And then after that, no game. So I would definitely argue that this really is the ultimate aim. No aim, no mind. But of course, in this book, the master game, you know, is the aim. And I respect that completely. But I would go as far as to add that on top of the master game, really. So there we go. I hope that's been helpful. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And till next time, be free, have fun, and have faith. May the force be with you.